He walked slowly up the hillside. A gentle breeze moved through the grass, and in front of him, a restless crowd gathered. Men, women, children, all coming closer with expectation. Something felt different in that moment, almost as if heaven itself was about to speak. And then he sat down, not to rest, but to teach. And with that simple gesture, the greatest sermon in history began. Yet behind the words repeated for generations lay something few truly perceive. A secret not hidden by mystery, but hidden because so few actually see it. And it is this secret that captures the heart of anyone who approaches the Sermon on the Mount with an open spirit. The setting was simple, but the message was not. Jesus looked at the crowd with a compassion beyond human understanding. And when he opened his mouth, he wasn't delivering rules. He was announcing a completely new way of living. A silent revolution beginning from the inside out. In his very first words, he revealed something profound. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. While many expected promises of power or prosperity, he exalted the spiritually humble, those who recognized their need for God. It was as if he were saying, only those who admit they are empty can truly receive. The crowd listened in absolute silence. He continued. He spoke of the meek, the merciful, those who mourn, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. He blessed the pure in heart, the peacemakers. And each word fell like fresh water on dry land. But the hidden secret, the one so many miss, was slowly taking shape. Jesus wasn't merely listing who would be blessed. He was describing the kind of person who carries the kingdom within. Then, looking directly at those following him, he said something shocking for such an ordinary crowd. You are the light of the world. Not you will be, not you can be someday, but you are. It sounded unbelievable. Fishermen, widows, mothers, laborers, they were the light? They were the salt of the earth? Jesus saw in them what they could not see in themselves. Purpose where they saw survival, strength where they felt weakness, calling where they felt ordinary. Then came one of the most misunderstood statements in the entire sermon. Unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. The crowd must have gasped. The Pharisees were the standard of religious devotion. Who could ever be more righteous than them? But the answer unfolded in the words that followed. Jesus dismantled the foundation of empty religion. He explained that avoiding murder wasn't enough, one had to address anger. Avoiding adultery wasn't enough, one had to purify the heart. Loving those who love you wasn't enough, one had to love even enemies. Here lay the secret. The righteousness God desires is not visible on the outside. It is born within. The people weren't being called to imitate the Pharisees. They were being invited to experience an inward transformation. This is where many modern readers pass by too quickly, treating it like moral teaching. But what Jesus revealed was revolutionary. True spirituality flows from the heart outward, not the other way around. Then he touched something every human faces: anxiety, worry, the fear of tomorrow. He said, "Do not worry about your life." Those words pierced deeply. Most of that crowd lived day to day, uncertain about food, clothing, and shelter. And Jesus continued, "Look at the lily of the field." It was as if he said, "You are trying to survive in a world God already promised to sustain." They expected practical strategies or immediate miracles. But he offered something far greater: trust, peace, certainty that God cares for every detail. Then came one of the most quoted, yet least understood teachings. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Here lies the heart of the hidden secret. Jesus was saying that everything people spend their lives chasing security, identity, peace, direction naturally flows when the heart finds its true center. The crowd may not have understood it fully, but Jesus was turning the entire human way of thinking upside down. You don't live well to earn the kingdom. You live well because the kingdom is already within you. But the message wasn't finished. He warned about judging others, hypocrisy, false prophets, and the wide and narrow paths. And then he gave an image that would shape every generation after. Everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. They understood this perfectly. Storms, floods, and violent winds were common in that region. A house built on sand might look fine for a while, but eventually it collapses. The message was unmistakable. The only unshakable life is the one built on obedience to the truth Jesus revealed. And when Jesus finished, something extraordinary happened. The crowd was astonished. They didn't grasp everything, but they sensed something different. Jesus didn't teach like the Pharisees or the rabbis. He spoke with authority, not repeating doctrines, but revealing truth itself. And here is the hidden secret so few notice, even today. The Sermon on the Mount is not merely a list of teachings. It is a portrait of the character of Jesus himself. Each beatitude reflects his heart. Each instruction reveals his mind. Every word describes the life. He didn't just preach, he embodied. This is why his sermon remains so unsettling. It was never meant to be admired, but lived. Never meant to be poetic, but foundational. Jesus made clear that the kingdom isn't distant or complicated. It's reachable. It's available. It begins within. As he stood up and the people walked down the hill, none of them could have imagined that those words would echo across centuries. But they do, because nothing is more powerful than a transformed heart. In the end, Jesus showed them and us that the true miracle wasn't the mountain. It wasn't the crowd. It wasn't the beauty of his words. The true miracle was the possibility of God's kingdom living inside each person. And that is the hidden secret that has changed lives for generations and still changes lives today.